Hey everybody, Dr. Mark Costas here, founder of the Dental Success Institute, author of the book, Pillars of Dental Success. And I wanted to start off this quick video today with a wish for you for a healthy, happy, and prosperous 2015. It's crazy and it's hard to believe that we're in the last couple days of 2014 now. And this is usually often a time of reflection and setting goals for the upcoming year. Thinking about what worked this year, what didn't work this year, what you'd like to accomplish throughout the next 12 months. So I thought I'd throw a couple interesting statistics at you regarding New Year's resolutions, and here they are. 25% of the people that make New Year's resolutions break them within the first week, which is crazy. 25% break them within the first week. 60% break them within the first 6 months of making them, which to me doesn't sound that surprising. In fact, I bet that number is a little bit higher. And then the one that's really, really surprising to me is that the average person makes the same resolution 10 times in their lifetime without success, which is crazy and hard to believe. So I want to give you guys what I call my top 3 growth hacks for 2015. These aren't New Year's resolutions. These are goals that I want you guys to focus on. If you're going to do only 3 things in your practice this year, these 3 things will lead to exponential growth in your practice if you can implement them immediately starting in January 2015. And you have the discipline and the grit to carry them out throughout the year. A good way to not have to count so much on self-discipline is to get things systemized. So I'm going to say that the #1 growth hack for 2015 is systemization. Get your practice as systematic as possible. Convert your practice, if it is right now a staff-dependent model, turn that into a systems-dependent model, okay? Forget having to recruit only all-stars for your team, because all-stars are in short supply and they will come and they will go. And you do not want the systems of your office to walk out the door with your all-stars. So make sure that you have excellent systems in place and they are run by your good staff, not necessarily your excellent staff. You just have to have competent people that could go in and pick up a list of checklists and carry them out throughout the day in your practice, and your practice will run much smoother. You will decrease the chaos and you will exponentially increase your satisfaction and your profitability, okay? So let's break down systemization a little bit more. You want to make sure, if you don't have one, you want to develop a working operations manual. Now, you guys have heard me talk about operations manual ad nauseum, but I'm going to say it again. Get a working operations manual that you refer to on a daily basis, that if something comes up in the office, you are breaking out that operations manual, you're using that operations manual during your reviews on all of your staff personnel. Use this operations manual as your guide to how you perform dentistry on a daily basis and how your team performs their jobs on a daily basis, okay? So operations manual is the #1 thing. Here's how you break it down. First, you want a section on foundational principles. Foundational principles include the culture of your office, which includes your core values, okay? Your mission statement and your vision statement. Your mission statement is what you strive to do on a daily basis, what your organization stands for, and your vision statement is where you want to be in 5 to 10 years. Make sure those are well defined. The whole group, your team, takes place and takes part in putting those together. So foundational principles is the first section of your operations manual, okay? Your first step to getting completely systemized. Next, you want to make sure that there are protocol sheets, a whole section for protocol sheets. Every single person that works in your organization should have a series of protocol sheets for every job that they are doing. My back office assistants have protocol sheets for how they sterilize in the sterilization room. They have protocol sheets on how to put a tray together. They have protocol sheets on how to put a burr block together, how to set the room up, the operatory up correctly, how to break down the operatory correctly, All those things include a protocol sheet. At the end of the day, they have a protocol sheet on how they're going to close out their charts, the computer, and the common area cleaning duties that they have. Make sure that every single person in your organization has a series of protocol sheets that are signed by them and the CEO, the leader of the organization, that's you, and put in a binder, which is the operations manual. Next, you want to have accountability agreements. The difference between a protocol sheet and an accountability agreement is that the accountability agreement is a contract for employment with your organization. And it basically says that we agree to these core values, this mission statement, this vision statement, and we agree to satisfy all of the duties on our protocol sheets, and then you list the protocol sheets. So the accountability agreement is more of an all-encompassing agreement that includes the protocol sheets and the foundational principles, okay? And then last but not least is the organizational chart. You're going to want to make sure that in this section of the operations manual, you have a chain of command. So for instance, the CEO of the organization, which is you, should have the fewest number of people reporting directly to you. Directly below you should be the office manager and sometimes potentially an associate doctor. Below the office manager should be the supervisors, and below the supervisors of each particular department in your organization should be the assistants in order of seniority, okay? So have a defined organizational chart, put that in place, and that goes in the operations manual. If you do nothing else this year, this is the #1 growth hack. If you do nothing else this year, getting the operations manual in place and getting it actually working as part of your daily procedures is going to hugely increase the order and profitability of your practice. So that's my #1 growth hack. #2, acquire and reactivate. What I mean by that is you want to acquire new patients, the right types of new patients, and you also want to reactivate those patients that happen to have fallen out of your practice, say somewhere between 12 and 24 months ago, okay? So there's very specific ways that you can go about doing that. But as far as acquiring new patients, you want to work on internal marketing. You want to make sure that you have a set referral generation program in place. That's very, very important. And you also want to make sure that you have a reactivation program in place. How are you incentivizing your existing patient base to refer patients to your office? For us, it's a movie ticket and a free pizza or bleaching trays. Those are the 3 things that they have to choose from, and we are able to incentivize our patients for that. And we have a very specific system. If you guys don't have it yet, give me an email and I will email the exact internal marketing system to you that we use within our practice. External marketing, that is a mixed bag, okay guys? There is no one campaign that will work in every market around the world. That's the bottom line. So if you come across some marketing expert that claims that this specific direct mail piece will work in every market, it'll work for you, they guarantee it, be wary, because that is not necessarily the case. A direct mail piece that works in Beverly Hills is definitely not going to work in my small area of Chino Valley, Arizona, population 11,000. It's a different market. We have different avatars. I'm not going to be going after the Beverly Hills market. I'm going after the bread and butter dentistry cases. So the big thing to remember about external marketing is not that you do the same thing that is working in 3 towns over. What you want to do is make sure that you are tracking all of the sources of your new patients, okay? And you're tracking which campaigns are performing the best. The ones that aren't performing, you get rid of those campaigns and save your marketing dollar for the things that are working. Nowadays, for my office, SEO, AdWords, social media, that type of thing is where I'm putting my money because that's where I'm getting the most ROI, return on investment. And I'm sure about that because we track everything. We use tracking telephone numbers for every different campaign that we have out there, and we make sure that we know how much we're spending and that we're getting at least 2-to-1 ROI on every single marketing dollar that we put out there into the world, okay? All right, the reactivation campaign, that's another thing that's really, really important. You want to make sure that you have a set system for getting the patients that have been gone between 12 and 24 months from your office back into your office. We do that with a series of 3 letters. We say we're giving them not only the ability to come back into our office, but we're giving them a free patient exam and series of x-rays for coming back in. That's the Get Reacquainted special that we have. And we have 3 separate letters in this campaign that are outlined in my book. If you guys don't have a copy of my book, just reply to this email. I'll send you a digital version right away, okay? So internal marketing, external marketing, and reactivation, those are the 3 things that we're gonna wanna focus on when we're looking to acquire and reactivate. That's growth hack number 2, okay? All right, and finally, growth hack number 3, set benchmarks, guys. This, like I said, is the time of year when we're all setting goals, we're setting resolutions. Here's the thing, set your benchmarks, stick to them, and make sure that your team knows what those are, okay? You've got to envision what you want your practice to look like at the end of the year. It shocks me how many dental practices I go into that don't have a set benchmark for the month. We set benchmarks for the hour, for the day, for the week, for the month, and for the year. And then we even have benchmarks on what we want the practice to look like in 5 years and in 10 years. It is so important, guys. It is impossible to hit a target that is not defined. So you must define your target, and then you can work backwards and figure out how. But first, you got to define the what. So you want to make sure that you have hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly goals. That could be for production. That could be for collections, production collection percentage. That could be for new patients. That could be hitting all of your KPIs, all your key performance indicators, making sure that your payroll is within the right percentage, within the profession standard, that your facility is within the right percentage, your marketing budget is within the right percentage, your materials bill, your lab bill, all of those things. That could be a benchmark that you set on a monthly basis. And I really recommend that you do that every single month, and especially at the beginning of the year, forecasting out for the 12 months to come, okay? That's what I have for you guys as far as the top 3 growth hacks for 2015. I honestly believe that if you accomplish just those 3 hacks, you will have the best year of practice that you've had so far, okay? And one last reminder, guys, from now until New Year's Eve at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time, we still have the early bird registration, the 60% off our Dental Success Summit registration. Now, guys, this is going to be the event of the year. We have some of the best speakers in the profession that are going to be speaking at the beautiful Scottsdale Resort on March 20th and 21st. It's your last chance before now and New Year's Eve to get your tickets at a 60% discount at only $397 and $197 for your staff. Come on down to Scottsdale, get 14 CE credits. I'll buy you breakfast and lunch both days. We'll break bread. We'll have a great time. You'll learn a lot about building your practice and making your practice a top 1% practice in the industry. So I really, really would love to see you there. Don't forget, just click below. You can register for that. And aside from that, you guys have a wonderful, healthy, prosperous, and happy 2015. We will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.